What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 15. So the ladies are on their way to New Orleans. Drew has invited them for a girls trip. They are flying on the private jet. Drew is determined to make sure that this trip is going to be better than the South Carolina trip, and Kenya is here for it because she throwing shade from the beginning. She talking about they must have got a 2-for-1 special for them to be flying on a private jet. Girl, don't be mad because Drew done got a private jet big enough for everybody to fly, and all you could afford was for you and Latoya and your nanny. Okay, don't be mad about it. Don't be mad about it. Anyway, we get down there, and Kenya is the only one who brought her baby. Kenya said, now everybody wanted to make a big deal about me bringing my baby to South Carolina, and everybody was like, well, we wish we knew, had known, we would have brought our baby. We wish we had known, we get down here and ain't nobody bring their baby but me. Now Portia was like, listen, I ain't never say I was gonna bring PJ. I said it would have been nice to be given the option. And I understand the point, and I understand what she's saying, and I understand. I get it. I get what you're saying, Portia, about give me the option. Candy was coming from another work situation, so she didn't have her children with her at her. She was filming for a movie, so she actually she didn't fly with the rest of the ladies. She came down later on that night, and she actually drove down from wherever she was filming. And so she didn't have her baby with her, and Drew was like, I'm working. Like, this is literally a work trip for me, so I ain't bring my baby either. It is what it is. They get there. They're staying at the Hotel Indigo. They have a New Orleans band waiting for them, and of course, it's great. It's cool. Kenya is irritated from the word go. I think it's a combination of being tired. It's one thing to travel. It's another thing to travel with a baby. She was waiting for the nanny to catch up with them, and she had a lot going on, okay? So the ladies are having a good time. They're dancing. They're enjoying themselves. Drew goes in to get the keys, and she gives Portia, not Portia. She gives Cynthia one of the sweets because she said, hey, I wasn't able to, sing at your wedding, so this is sort of my, here you go. Listen, sidebar, that damn Louis Vuitton yellow bag that Portia had, it was everything. Oh, that thing was beautiful. Anyway, so they had po' boys and mimosas and everything waiting for them, and Latoya had said that she wasn't drinking. And of course, the minute she said she wasn't drinking, everybody want to ask about why you not drinking. Oh, you not drinking, girl. You not drinking. Why you not drinking, girl? You ain't drinking. Listen, I said this with the Real Housewives of Potomac when they gave Karen a hard time when they were on their cash trip about Karen not drinking. I feel like that's a situation that's personal and private, and whatever Toya's reason is for not drinking, that's between her and whoever she made the decision with. I don't feel like it should have become conversation for the group. I think we should respect it. Yes, we can speculate. Oh, are you pregnant? Oh, are you detoxing? Oh, did you think maybe you did a little too much at the Halloween party and you don't want to have a repeat performance? Fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, leave it alone. I just didn't, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later, but I really feel like it should have just been, oh, you're not drinking? Okay, girl, more for me, and keep it moving. Just keep it moving. We never know what people's reasons are, and that really is a personal situation. Drew comes out with the keys, and like I said, she gave the sweet to Cynthia, and she said, okay, I got another sweet, and the way we're going to decide is who can do the best booty bounce. Well, Kenya was like, I ain't doing that. Just give me my key. I ain't about to sit here and degrade myself for no damn room. Drew was like, girl, what are you talking about? We're in New Orleans. Like, that's a New Orleans dance. Like, that's just what they do here. It's a booty bounce. Like, y'all know Big Frida and all of that. Like, that's what they do in New Orleans. So I don't think it was, I'm trying to degrade her. But like I said, I think it was a combination. Kenya was already in a funky mood. I think she was tired and she was ready to get to her room. She got to her room. She wasn't happy with her room, baby. She upgraded and said, I will pay for it myself. Now, what's funny is I feel like she just was going to make sure that they didn't do to her what she had done to Marlo at down in South Carolina because, of course, she was like, I feel like Drew was just being shady. I cleared the air with Drew. I thought we were all on the same, I thought we were, a clean slate. And she want to come here and give me the worst room. And I know she did that on purpose. No, you were the one that was like, just give me my key. You ain't want to, booty bounce. So, of course, you got the worst room. I don't think that was pre-planned. Let me say this. So the ladies got ready to go on a bike ride tour of New Orleans. Let me say this. Drew, just get a new stylist for next season. I want you back, Drew. I like you. I enjoyed you. I want you back. But I also want you to get a stylist. All them ladies got one. Tap into it. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. That's all. Moving on. Kenya must have got her a nap, hit a shot. I don't know. But she was in a really good mood. Everybody went on the bike ride except for Marlo. She said her back was hurting, and so she didn't go. But everybody else went, and they had a really good time. Of course. And the thing about Kenya is when Kenya's in a good mood, it's great. When Kenya's in a bad mood, she's just a bitch. But she was in a good mood, and was a joke. They had a good time. So they went out to eat afterwards, and Candy's on her way. She about 3 hours away, honey. She's still riding along. And, they're at dinner and they ordering a little bit of this and a little bit of that, honey. They done ordered them some fried alligator and all kinds of stuff, honey. And then the situation comes up with Toya. Toya gets there late. She was irritated. Again, she told Kenya that she was in a bad mood and that she was irritated, but she also told Kenya she didn't want to talk about it. So I feel like Toya was already irritated, and why, we don't know, and it ain't our business. Again, something pissed her off before she came in there, and it was what it was. So the conversation came up about Drew and Toya going to church together. And the conversation was, I want to make sure I get it right, because it didn't immediately go to Toya drinking. I think they asked about Toya drinking. And then Drew was like, well, Toya, no, they were talking about something else with Toya. Oh, they were telling her she was out of line for how she acted at Fallon's house. And she was like, oh, well, it is what it is. And they were like, but, like, why? Like, why, it seemed like you got a problem with Fallon for no reason. And Kenya even told her, Kenya said, you were really doing too much. Like, you were really disrespectful. And she was like, oh, well. And, Cynthia was like, girl, you can't just walk up in somebody's house and just disrespect their husband. She said, well, I did it. And it was just like, wow, like, what is really going on with you? So then Drew says, Toya, why aren't you drinking? And Toya was like, because I don't want to. And I feel like, Drew, you should have left it alone. But you kept pushing. And when you kept pushing, then she said, because I don't feel like a bitch. And she actually turned it into a whole song. I don't feel like a bitch. So then Drew goes into this whole tirade about, well, you told me and my driver that you wanted to stop drinking, and, you wanted to detox because this, and this, and this, and that. And I just feel like that was really out of line. First of all, that is something that is, she clearly confided you in a moment. For whatever that moment was. You said she was crying and she was very emotional. So whatever that moment was, she confided in you. And I don't feel like that's something that you should have then taken and shared it with the whole group. If you were really that concerned and you were really worried about Toya after y'all had that moment and you said you felt like y'all had bonded and y'all were building something, pull her aside. Go past her room later on that night and say, girl, I just want to check in with you. I know what you said. We saw each other at church. We had a moment. I see that you're not drinking. How can I help? How can I support you? Whatever this reason is for you not drinking, maybe it is because she's pregnant. I don't know. Maybe she just don't feel like it. But whatever it is, that's how you do it if you really, truly were concerned. But the way you did it, it was like you were trying to embarrass her. Now, Kenya said she was bullying her. I don't think she was bullying her, but I do think she was trying to embarrass her. And I don't know if that was even her intent, but it was a lot. Drew, you did too much. You went too far. You did too much. Toya ends up getting up to leave. Kenya goes with her, and they end up going back to the hotel. later on that night, the ladies sort of visit each other in their rooms. Kenya goes to Cynthia's room, and of course, Kenya's her normal, shady self with Cynthia. Portia and Shamia go to Drew's room, and they sipping on, some tequila, and the whole thing about Marlo comes up again. And Portia's thing is, listen, I don't care. I'm not tripping about Marlo. I don't care. My only concern is it just seemed very convenient about when Marlo and Kenya became friends. They make up and become friends the exact same night that Kenya decides that she gonna blast me about the whole Bolo situation. And for me, it just seems very convenient, and she's my friend, and I just got a problem with it. Like, it's just way too convenient for me. And Drew says, listen, I think you just need to talk. Y'all just need to talk. Y'all just need to talk. Y'all need to clear it. Portia was like, I'm good. Now, I do think it's more to it than that with Portia, but I understand what Portia's saying. Like, for me, it's just too convenient. It was just the timing of it was a bit much for me. So the next day, Candy made it sometime that night, gets checked into her room. The next day, Drew has an interview, and she has a meeting about, it sounds like it's a TV show, and the role she's up for is something with a recurring role. I know shows like NCIS New Orleans film, so maybe it's something along those lines. I'm here for it. She did the interview, and she asked Cynthia to go with her, and Cynthia was like, sure, So that morning, the ladies were out on the terrace having breakfast, and I love that Gucci bag that Marlo had. Listen, I'm a bag person. I notice purses, I notice bags, and that little Gucci bag that Marlo had was cute, too. And with her little Gucci pajamas, fancy. Well, it's like those daytime pajamas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway. And so it started raining, the sky opened up, and they had to sort of come off the terrace, and Drew was like, wow, I had some, something really fun planned for you guys today. You guys are going to go to a booty bounce class, a Zydeco booty bounce class or whatever. She said, Cynthia and I, she's going to go with me on these appointments that I have, the interview and stuff like that, and then we'll meet back up later. So they end up going to the class, and they thought it was Zydeco, but it ended up being like booty bounce Zydeco. I said that already. And again, the same thing that you didn't want to do the day before, Kenya she had a ball. She participated fully in the class, and she had a good time. Now, a couple of things might be different. One, y'all were in the privacy of a studio instead of standing out in the middle of New Orleans outside doing it. Two, Kenya might have had had time to rest, versus, like I said, they had been traveling all day, and she had the baby, and she was tired. So there was probably a variety of things, but everybody had a good time. The ladies was dancing, and they was getting into it, and they was bouncing, and all of that stuff was great. When the class was over, Portia had a conversation with Marlo. The rest of the ladies are outside waiting. Portia and Marlo have a conversation. And Portia basically lets Marlo know, listen, I feel like you've been moving funny since you and Kenya made up. Like, Kenya coming to the opening of your boutique, she was like, it's not open yet. She was like, well, you invited her down, and she was like, no, actually, I didn't invite her. She called me and asked if she could come, and I told her she could. She said I would have done the same thing for anybody else. So I didn't do anything special for Kenya that I wouldn't have done for you. Then she says, well, I just feel like we've been moving funny. Like, you don't call me. We haven't talked, since I got back, since we got back from South Carolina. It seems like you've been teaming up with Kenya with this whole Bolo situation. And as my friend, I feel really betrayed by that. This woman is coming for me. Like, if that were the situation were reversed, I would not be aligning myself with somebody that I know is coming for my friend. And I just feel like, Kenya is gunning for me. She's coming for me. She done started this whole campaign, and you are, conveniently, this is when y'all make up. She said, and it just feels funny to me. Like, it's just funny to me. And I have a problem with it. And so, Marlo was like, well, I feel like you've been acting funny towards me. Like, I don't understand why I gotta choose why I'm in the middle of this. Like, we friends, that's it. I'm friends with Kenya, I'm friends with you. Why does it have to be more than that? Like, why does it have to be? And Portia was like, listen, that I don't have a problem with you and Kenya being cool, but I do have a problem with the timing and the fact that, Kenya is gunning for me. I think it's a combination of the two. I think Portia does have a problem with it, but I also think Portia's reasoning is sort of legit as well. So then Marlo gonna say, well, I just want to ask you one question. Is it true? Now remember, Marlo said she heard voices that night too. So she's not asking just because she necessarily believes Kenya. She's asking because she absolutely heard some voices too. So, of course, that pissed Portia off all over again. She was like, see, none of my other friends had to ask me that. But Portia answered without hesitation. Portia said no, without hesitation. She said, but none of my other friends had to ask me. None of my other friends questioned it. Child. Anyway, I feel like they did a tentative hug and make up. Now, while all this is going on, Kenya is on the bus having a conversation with Shamia and them, and Shamia was like, well, they had some things they needed to clear up, and Shamia told them, about whatever, what it was about. So, of course, now Kenya was like, oh my gosh, this is so elementary school. I'm so sick of this elementary school stuff. Why people can't be friends with each other? And, of course, Shamia is riding for her friend, and here go Kenya. Why are you riding so hard for her? I mean, you just a damn lapdog. You just riding so hard for Portia. Portia don't ride for you like that. Shamia was like, girl, what? Then here come Toya want to put her two cents in it. Shamia said, girl, be quiet. Go back to sleep and be quiet. You ain't got nothing to do with this. Stay out of it. Ain't nobody talking to you. And before it really got a chance to get real heated and escalated, the ladies came back on the bus. Portia and Marlo came back on the bus. And you could tell Marlo was upset. Like, you could see that she was visibly upset. So now Kenya wants to address it. And Marlo was like, listen, I can't talk right now. Let me get a couple of drinks in me, and then maybe we could talk. But right now, I can't. I'm just spit. It was just too much. And that's where the episode ended. So, child, I guess we'll pick that up next week, and we'll see where it go from there. Y'all let me know what y'all think, honey. Drop it in them comments. Peace.